record there. Welcome, everybody. Thanks so much for joining us on our monthly LegalShield Associate Workout. We're very happy to have you this evening. If you're tuning, and glad to have you tuning in here. We're sort of on the heels of a very big announcement that you probably all heard yesterday, and I'm not sure that I can answer any questions about that, but we can maybe talk a little bit about that towards the end of the session if you have any questions about that. But the focus of this evening is going to be to introduce to you a new tool that we're making available to you if your business takes you to Pennsylvania. We hope that it does. We love to support sales associates here in Pennsylvania, and so we encourage you to sell memberships here in Pennsylvania. And we have a brand new tool. We kind of like it, and we think that it's going to make it really, really simple for your customers to get their wills and their estate planning documents started. You know, that can be a little bit of a hurdle for folks to get over. We know that when people use the membership, they have a tendency to keep it. And getting their wills done is a great way for them to use the membership and get a lot of benefit out of it right off the bat. So, you know, we've fought for a number of years with the paper will questionnaires, and, you know, where you could get them. Did you have to send them to your member? You know, those types of things. They are available to be downloaded by members from the LegalShield website. And we make those available on our website as well, that you can actually fill it out online, print it, and then send it to us in order to get your will started. And that option will always be available for LegalShield members in Pennsylvania. But we have another option that's available to them that we think is going to be a lot more user-friendly for them. So we're going to go ahead and show that to you, and I'm going to share my screen with you, and hopefully this is going to work. So let's try this out. Okay, so you should be seeing our website. And Noemi, if you're on there, just tell me if you're seeing all of that.
Yes, we are.
Okay, great. So this is our website. And if you go to the LegalShield page, and I'm going to go ahead and admit a couple other people that are joining here right now. If you go to the LegalShield page, right, you're going to see a little box pop up in the right-hand side. Is that working, Noemi? You're seeing that? Great. This is our newest tool that we make available for your members to get their estate planning started. And so if they go to the LegalShield page on our website, this window is going to pop up automatically. And this is some software that we've had developed with our friends at Gideon, is the name of their company. And they might be on the call tonight. They said that they might be able to join in, attend. And so if they are, I'd ask them to unmute and just introduce themselves to the group. I don't know if they're on or not this evening. I didn't see them join in. I thought Jared is on there. Is that Jared? There he is.
Yeah, how's it going?
All right. So
hello, everybody. Yeah, I was kind of buried in the attendee list. Thanks for having me.
That's okay. Thank you. We appreciate it. So we've enjoyed our collaboration with Gideon, the folks at Gideon, to put together this software, this bot maybe is what they call it, right?
Yes, that'd be correct.
And it's an interactive tool for customers to use to get their will started. And so I thought we would walk you through it to let you know, give you a good idea of how this works. And so you can see some introductions that come up right off the bat. And then we start by asking them a very basic question, you know, do they live in Pennsylvania? And I'm just going to walk through this with you a little bit. So now it says, well, we got to get some basic information from you. So I'm going to go ahead and fill that in. If you have an auto filler in your computer, right, it's going to work with this too, it appears. So I just had that auto fill in right on my computer, and I hit submit, right? What is your gender, it asks. And, you know, we don't really care so much about gender, just for anybody out there that might be wondering why we ask gender. Our documents are pretty much going to be gender neutral, you know, by and large, but for some people that might be important for them. So we're going to continue to gather that information just in case it's important for folks that we have that in there. Now this asks if you are 70 years or older, and what this does is this helps us identify some basic information that might tell us or give us a little bit of a profile of the customer and things that they might want to talk about. So we want to just identify those types of things. So this is going to be Allegheny County. Oops. Allegheny. I'm typing faster, so excuse me if I mess stuff up. Okay, so now it tells you that you're about to provide some information for the completion of your durable healthcare power of attorney, and it gives a very brief explanation of what that is. So who do you want to be that person? Now, it's important that these fields be filled out. They can't be just left blank. They won't let you move forward, at least for now, unless they're left blank. And so the instructions at the very beginning say that if you want to skip a section, just type skip and then hit submit, and it'll allow you to move to the next thing. That may change in a short period of time. And so it's going to ask for a street address. And the city and state. Pick spouse. And again, these are answers that give us information that we will include in the documents that we're going to prepare for everybody. So now the next question asks that if that person is not available to make decisions, who is going to be the next person, the alternate person to make decisions for me if I had a healthcare issue. So Claire is my daughter, also our marketing director here. So she does a great job. Let's see. I can't remember what the zip code is there. So she is my daughter. So you can see it works really fast. We will allow folks to give special instructions to somebody making healthcare decisions if they would like to do that. We don't often get those, but sometimes folks will ask that. So that was all. Those are the only questions for the healthcare power of attorney section. So the next section relates to the financial power of attorney. And again, there's a very brief explanation that the power of attorney lets you pick somebody who will make financial decisions for you if you are unavailable. So we'll go ahead and fill this part out. And we're working with the Gideon folks to modify this just a little bit to try to make this go a little bit faster and maybe pre-fill some of these things in. We're trying to make this process go as quickly as possible so that folks can get through it and they don't get tired or discouraged. Although this is a pretty fast process, we would like to make it as quick as possible for them to get these things done. So that was we've answered all of the questions that we need to get in order to fill out both types of powers of attorney. So now we're moving on to questions about the will. So my wife's name is the boss. As everybody else's who has a wife, their name is the boss too, I think, right? Now that might seem like a funny question. Do you currently live with your spouse? If you don't, that tells us there might be some other things that we need to talk about with you, not divorce or anything, but it may trigger some additional questions that we might want to ask about your living arrangements, because maybe a garden variety will isn't going to be good for you. Maybe you might want to do a trust, especially if spouses live in different states. That's, that's unusual, but it's not something that never happens. We do have that kind of a thing happen where spouses don't necessarily live together all of the time, or maybe they're separated. We ask if there's a prenuptial agreement, because that's important for us to know. In a prenuptial agreement, the spouses may have made a decision in advance on how to divide their assets at the time of death. And prenuptial agreements are more common now than they ever have been, especially with folks who have second marriages or get married later in life. Those things are things that we need to know. So this asks, if your spouse is unwilling to act as executor, who would you want to manage your affairs after you die? So it already presumes that your spouse will be the executor, and it's asking how many alternates you want to have, right? So I'm just going to select one, right? And we already gave Claire a job, so we'll give my second daughter a job, and we'll make her the executor. Yes, I have children. And gives you some instructions on how to fill this all out. And again, it's very important to fill this out. No nicknames, things of that nature, right? And we want their names as they are going to appear in the document. So it'll go on to ask for all of my children. I'm just going to skip that part. It asks if our children are the age of 18. If they are, then that will tell us that we may need to make sure that there is a testamentary trust in your will. So a testamentary trust is a trust, a paragraph in your will that would hold money or provide for the holding of money and administration of that money on behalf of your children until they reach at least the age of 18, and maybe even older, depending on how old you would want them to be before they would be able to enjoy freely the inheritance that you've provided to them. So do you have children with special needs? This is also a special planning situation for us. And if it says yes, that's going to tell us that we need to have a conversation with our clients about that particular situation. So the next question asks to estimate the total value of your individual assets, meaning assets that you just own in your own name, right? And then it'll ask about your spouse's assets. So let's see here. I have to include my wife's purses and shoes, so it's definitely more than mine. And then it asks for joint assets. Oops. And again, those just give us parameters that tell us whether we need to have a special conversation with clients that have a high value estate, because maybe there's some tax planning that they would want to do. So the next section asks if we want to give specific items, specific people to people. These will not appear in the will, but we do prepare what's called a personal property memorandum that is a document that sort of rides alongside your will. And so your will says that you give these specific items like heirlooms, like jewelry, or maybe you've got a gun or a gun collection or tools or something like that that you want to give to particular people. The will say that I give those things to those people appearing on a personal property memorandum that's found with my will. And we'll prepare that for you, at least the first one. And we tell folks that they can change that from time to time if they want without having to change their will, which is kind of a big process for people. But they can change this one piece of paper, and we'll actually give them blank copies of that form that they can fill out whenever they want to do a new one, and then they tear the old one up and throw it away. So who should receive this item? have any other items. There, congratulations, you've completed this form. And now we have all the information that we need. So it tells them that we're going to send over the documents once we've reviewed them, and gives them some information on how to give us a call, and we'll be reaching out to them as well. Now, like I said, this is going to be on the LegalShield page on our website, so it's going to pop up. There's nothing that anybody has to click in order to get to this form. It's just going to pop right up.
And Mike, it's on.
Yes.
It's off. Hi, my camera won't turn on now. Zoom crashed on me. Now my camera won't turn on.
Oh boy.
But the will chat bot is also located on our website under practice of areas, trust and estate planning. It's under there as well.
Right. So easiest for you, I think, to just tell folks to go to the LegalShield page, because you're selling LegalShield memberships. And so that's the easiest place to go. We want them to go here, because you see that on this site, they can push this button to give us a call. They can use this to request a consultation if they don't have the web app downloaded. If they love to fill out forms, the estate planning questionnaire is right here. It's not the LegalShield form, but it's our form, which we like. So that shouldn't be difficult. And if they're not a member, they happen to be on here, they can connect to LegalShield to purchase a membership. And then, just in case you weren't aware, for your benefit, we have produced annual reports for the last 2 years. There's lots of great information in here about what we do for LegalShield members and how we support LegalShield sales associates. So if you haven't had a chance to take a look at those yet, I would encourage you to take a look at those. And we think that they're a tool that you can use, that you can provide to potential members or groups or employers or small businesses, to give them an idea of what the law firm is all about, what their law firm might be all about. Okay,